Today I am going to be following Scott Barnes' makeup tutorial, which he did on Tati Westbrook. If you've not seen it, I'll leave a link down in the corner. He is JLo's makeup artist, and this is what he would do for like a photo shoot or a music video or something like that. I'm really excited and nervous because I've never done my makeup like this before. His techniques are so different from everyone else. He's amazing, his work is incredible. So I have the tutorial ready to follow. I'm just going to get on and see how we get on with it. So in the video he actually starts like back to front, so he does the contour and highlight underneath the foundation, which is what I'm more nervous about. I'm going to start with my concealer first. I'm going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is in the shade NW15, and he blended it out with a foundation brush, but I don't have one of them, so I'm going to apply it with just like a smaller version, and he went in with the concealer, so that's what I'm going to do. I think he just pats it on. He brings it like down the side of the nose as well. And then he did down the chin. It feels so strange to do like concealer first. Down the very centre. And then he starts to sort of blend out the edges. I might need to use a different brush, but I don't have like a similar one to what he used. And I think he blended the concealer out like all the way up here. So I'm just gonna sort of kind of do what I think and like blend it in. Might just take a little bit of time. This concealer sets really quickly as well, which I never thought about until like just. Oh, I'm already sweating, I'm stressing already. I am just used to using a beauty blender, and he doesn't use a beauty blender throughout the whole video. I know he's using his own brushes, which are going to be a lot better than what I'm using. So we'll just have to see if we can get through the whole video without me using a beauty blender, but I really feel like all I want to do is just grab one right now. Okay, so now we're moving on to the contour part. So he uses, I think, like a cream foundation. I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze, but I'm going to put it on my hand first. Don't know what brush to use for this because I don't. He used like, you know, like one of the NARS Eda brushes. It was kind of like the same shape to that, but his was more of like a paintbrush. I'm going to use just one of these sort of overly ones, and he went to the jawline first, and he literally... Okay. Oh my god, I'm literally so scared right now. So it was like more underneath her jaw than like on her actual face. And then he just sort of blended it down. This is literally scaring the hell out of me. Yeah, mine is not looking the way his did. I'm just going to take a buffer brush now and blend that down a bit. Okay, so he brings this down into a V as well. Okay, then now we need to do the cheeks. So we come straight down onto the contours of the face. And he actually brings his like quite low towards the mouth. And then we go around the forehead. I hope to God this blends out. I actually hope this blends out. And then he goes around to where her brow ends. And then he does the nose, which I think I am most scared about because I've never contoured my nose before. But he literally just goes straight down, I think. So I'm using an angled brush. You'd think he used an angled brush as well. Yeah, let's just try it. His lines looked really close together as well. And then he does just join this at the tip here. I am literally so out of my comfort zone right now, I cannot tell you. And then he also contours the lips with this as well. So just like I was gonna like overline my lips, I'm gonna do it with this contour colour. Okay, so now it's time for foundation, and he did all of Tati's chest and shoulders with a darker foundation. Then he used a lighter shade, I think, to blend out the whole face bit. So I'm going to use quite a dark foundation on my chest because that's what he used on Tati, I'm going to use the Milani 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This is in Sand Beige. I use a duo fibre brush to apply his, but I haven't got one. I've got like a flat sort of foundation brush. This is a blank canvas F20. I have never applied foundation to like all my chest. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I suppose it does make an incredible difference. I'm going to do my shoulders. I'll just have to not turn around so you can't see my back. I think I might actually film me actually getting this off, and I will share that with you after I post this video. I've literally never worn this much makeup in my life. I'm going to get like behind my ears as well because I feel like that is going to be so pale. Okay, so I think he then takes the same foundation which is used on the chest, and then he starts to go over the contour areas first, and then he uses a lighter shade in the centre to start helping blend that out, and he also goes on her ears as well. I feel like this is just so many stages. So he does this all around the forehead as well, I think. I feel like his is so much more blended than mine. Okay, so now he's moving on to a lighter foundation in the centre of the face. I think this is slightly lighter in colour. I'm going to use True Match foundation. This is in 4W or 4D. Give that a good shake as well. So I'm just going to sort of rub it into the back of my hand, and then I think he just sort of goes over all these areas and then blends it into the dark. So you're sort of keeping the light areas light, if you get what I mean. And I feel like he's just kind of patting it all together. Okay, I'm just going to pop a little bit of that over my eyes as well, because I don't know whether she's got foundation or concealer over her eyes. I never saw him do that bit. Oh my god, I'm stressed. I feel like I've kind of lost the contour a little bit though, so I might just apply a little bit more of that. I feel like I've definitely lost a lot. I think I applied a bit too much foundation over the top. Honestly, I'm not hating how it's looking now. It's actually blending like pretty well. Okay, so I need to blend out my lips. So I'm just going to use that little brush that I blended out my concealer with. And I'm just going to wiggle this like over the edges. I'm going to mix in a bit of foundation just onto my brush, just to help this blend out a little bit. I think he actually goes over the lips with the foundation as well. One thing that I don't see him doing is blending this nose contour out yet. So this is what's kind of scaring me a little bit. So now we're going to foundation our hands, which I've never done in my life. I'm going to mix both foundations together because I think the Milani one might just be a little bit sticky on its own. So let's just see how we get on. Really never ever done this in my life. Oh gosh. Kind of reminds me of that leg spray that you can get, the Sally Hansen leg spray, because that's really good. It's like a spray on makeup, but if you don't tan, it's really good. If you don't tan your legs, it just makes you look like really nice and flawless, and get right into my knuckles as well. Okay, this one actually does look pretty flawless, to be fair. This one I'm using my left hand and I feel like I can't use that for anything. I feel like we're getting there slowly. Slowly but surely we're getting there, guys. Okay, are we the same? I think we're pretty much there, so let's see what's next. Okay, so now we're moving on to cream blush. I'm actually getting quite concerned about this nose contour, like what is happening. I've only got one cream blush in my collection because I don't ever wear it very often. So this is from Revlon. It's in the shade Berry Kiss, and it is just quite a natural one, like similar to what he used, I think. I don't know what to apply these things with. I'm just gonna use like another little face buffing brush thing to apply it, but I don't want to apply too much. So he kind of like buffs it onto the cheeks, but he also brings it up a little bit as well. Okay, right, next. So he goes in with more of a brightening product, so I'm going to go in with just a little bit more of the Pro Longwear concealer. This is actually a darker colour, but it's more yellow in undertone, so it's gonna look a little bit brighter. I might have to cave, guys. I might have to go in with the beauty blender. I literally can't cope. Okay, we're going straight into powder. And I haven't done my nose contour and it didn't show how to blend that out, and that is the thing that I am most scared about doing. Right, I'm just going to take the concealer brush that I've been using. Okay, I'm really nervous about this. I'm just going to go dead slow. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I swear this is going to be like the shittiest nose contour you've ever seen. And I know it needs to be highlighted down the centre, so I'm just going to go and do that after. Okay, so I've just done another like concealer line down the centre, and then I'm just going to tap that in, and then I'm just going to carry on watching and see if it looks like this. Okay, so we're moving on to powder now. He uses a pressed powder in this, so I'm just going to use a pressed powder which I've got. It's a translucent one. This is the Instant Rimmel Fix and Matte Powder, and again he uses a brush. So he only applies this, I think, to the areas where we've like highlighted and concealed. So I'll just take a little bit of that, and we've applied quite a lot of product, so I'm just going to really sort of pat this on so it doesn't like crack and move around. So my camera battery just died. I've literally sat here for the past hour not being able to touch anything, waiting for it to charge up, and I've also been filming this video for hours and I'm only halfway through. I don't think there's that many steps left though, and we're on to highlighter now. So I'm going to use Gilded Honey by Laura Geller. I'm going to use a couple of different highlighters because he used like quite a variation of different ones. So I'm using this for my cheeks. To be totally honest, like I thought this makeup would feel like quite uncomfortable, but it's actually not that bad. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to me. So I'm going to use that on my cheeks, and then I'm going to use MAC's Soft and Gentle highlight down my nose. I'm going to use this down the centre of my nose, and then he applied quite a lot underneath the brow as well and into the inner corners, so I will do exactly the same. Then we're moving back on to the chest. So he uses like a spray SPF to make Tati's skin quite glowy, but I don't have that, so I'm just going to spray some like setting spray. This is the primer water from Primark, but I'm hoping it should make me quite glowy. See? And then we let that dry off, and then he also applies highlighter to her chest as well, so we shall do that. I'm going to just dip into both Gilded Honey and Soft and Gentle, and he made her like pretty glowy, so let's do the same. Okay, so it's super glowy now. We move on to bronzer. So for bronzer, I'm going to use MAC's Give Me Sun. The brush that he's using is one of his and it looks really nice, but I don't have one of them. So I'm just using a brush that I already have, and he gets like right into the contour as well. Might have to use like a contour powder. And then he also takes this, I think, around the forehead to make sure it's all blended. Okay, and then I also think, I'm not sure, I think he takes another powder and then just sort of goes over the rest of the face. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the Naked Ultra Definition Loose Finishing Powder from Urban Decay, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit and just put this on the outer perimeters of my face. I'm not sure if this is what he was doing, but it looked like it was, so I'm just going to apply it just a little bit. So then now he moves on to lips, and I feel like this is so back to front to me, it's just so strange. So he does contour Tati's lips, so I am going to do the same. I'm using Spice from MAC, so I'm kind of overdrawing them. And because we have contoured already with the concealer earlier, I do actually find it is a little bit more easier to overdraw your lips. And then I think he filled in the outside, make them a bit more poutier. And then over the Cupid's bow, he does connect it together so it's more rounded, which I think makes your lips look a little bit fuller. So let's try it. So he doesn't use an actual lipstick, he goes straight in with a gloss because we already went over with the foundation, so it's kind of already like that ombre effect. I don't have like a clear gloss, which his was like more sheer. This one is like a more pigmented gloss. This is from Primark. I don't actually own many glosses because I don't really use them. So I think he applies it first to the centre and then on this top part he sort of drags it up. So it doesn't go like around the perimeter like I would have normally apply it like that. He sort of drags it upwards. So moving on to the brows now, he uses a powder on Tati's brows, but he does keep them quite natural, so I don't really have any brow powders if I'm totally honest. So I'm just going to go through them with a little bit of a pencil. I'm just going to brush them all up. My eyebrows are quite a lot bushier than Tati's, so I'm going to try and keep them as natural as possible. I'm just going to sort of fill in like sparse areas underneath, which is where I need to fill them in the most really. Then for brow gel, he uses more of like a shimmery brow gel. The only one that I've got similar is the Tinted Brow Gel from Anastasia. This is in brunette, and this looks to me like it does have more of like a shimmer to it. So I'll just brush through them with this. So next he enhances Tati's jawline a little bit more. He contours with a blush, which I don't have like a similar colour to what he used. So I'm just going to go in with the Anastasia Contour Kit. I'm going to take a little bit of that one right there and just go over the contour that we did on the jawline. Try not to like mess it up. And then to blend that, he blended it up with another brush. He also used like a face powder to blend this up, but I didn't apply as much as he has, I think, so I think we're okay. Finally, we are onto the eyes. I've just got a couple of different palettes. I think he only used about 3 different eyeshadows. So the first one I'm going to use is from the Life's a Drag palette from Manny MUA, and I'm going to use that one, which is Trade. He used like a warm sort of deep brown, so I'm going to try and stick to like similar colours that he used. So he applied this into the socket and he kind of made like a round shape first. This might be a little bit more purpley than the one that he used. And then he also went like down in this outer V. And this isn't actually my most favourite brush that I'm using, but all my others are like covered in different colours. I might just have to get another one in a second to blend this out. Then it also looks like he takes a more deeper brown underneath her eye. So I'm going to start with Mug. I might mix in a bit of the black one if it's not dark enough, but we'll see. And he takes this along the lash line and then he kind of like flicks it up so it marries in the outer corner. And I think I will just mix in a tiny bit of the black just to deepen it a little bit. And then after that he takes a more lighter brown, a more beigeier one. So I'm going to mix Sickening and Hunty. I'm going to mix both of them and just blend that underneath just to soften that line. This also helps to cover like my wrinkling underneath, which is good because I don't usually have like this much concealer underneath my eyes. So okay, and then for the lid colour, he uses his finger to apply the shadow. It's more of a shimmery one. So I'm going to take this from the Be Perfect palette. It wasn't too silvery and it wasn't too gold. So I'm going to use this one, which is called Hunty from the Carnival palette. I'll just apply that with my finger as well. And it also looks like he applies like a darker outer corner and just sort of wings it up a little bit. So I'm going to again mix Mug and Shady, which was the black one, and I'm just going to angle this so it kind of meets the darkness in this outer corner. It's kind of like the really, really subtle wing, and it just darkens the outer lash line a little bit. He used his own mascara from his own brand. I'm just going to use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise because I feel like this can build my lashes up quite thick. He also backcombed his mascara into the lashes, but I have no idea how I would do that, so I'm not going to try and then get mascara everywhere after it's taken me literally hours to film this makeup, so we are not doing that today. So then the final thing that he does is just make sure that this outer corner sort of marries into the top. So I'm just going to take Mug, which was the dark brown, and I want to make sure, I'm actually going to mix Mug and the black again. Just make sure that these outer corners all marry in together. And then I'm just taking a bit of Mug just on its own, just to finish just through my socket. Hey guys, so that was my everyday makeup routine, or not. I actually really like how it turned out. I don't think I did that bad. I think I could have done the nose contour better, but that's the first time I've ever properly contoured my nose, and under the cheeks could have been a little bit better. But I think for a first go, I don't think it's that bad. And I'm also definitely going to start using some of those techniques as well. So I really hope you liked today's video. Let me know if you did down in the comments below. And please give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!